Welcome back to another episode of AK-47 Radio, hot back from GOA's goals. We have Comrade Commissar Will. We have the Cosmonaut General Mikhail Gunseldes. And here to clean up the mess, I am Sam Alexander. How are y'all doing tonight?
Good, except you claim that you clean up the messes and don't actually cause the messes.
Says the guy who made sure that somebody else's item ended up in a different state than the one they live in.
No. Says the guy who knocked over his cup into my plate and flipped my fork onto my lap. And it was an empty cup, at least.
Sam's empty cup.
It was your cup.
I fucked it up. It's time to party.
All I have to say is I got a good laugh out of that just because it was like, man.
I was not doing well.
All I'm hearing is 2 nerds, 1 cup.
Ew. Send pics.
And then videos. And then donations.
It's not donations.
Let's have a party.
I'd rather not. I hate parties. So.
Except the party.
Oh, yeah. Only one party that counts. All the other parties are poor imitations.
Let's have the party.
Duh. So we got back from, I always fuck this up. Gun Owners
Goals.
America.
Goals.
Gun Owners Action.
Advocacy.
Owners Advocacy League Seminar.
No, Gun Owners Advocacy and Leadership Seminar.
Ah, yes.
No, Summit, not Seminar. Wow.
Summit.
Fuck.
We know where we went.
Do we?
I don't know about you guys. I was in Iowa. It's easier to say.
Maybe we should check out what else was going on in Iowa around the same time, because we may have been at the wrong show. And that would explain some things.
Well, we did a Brownells.
Because I expected to see a lot of guns, and instead I'm walking around, and all I see are a lot of anime chicks and Pokemon cards. I think I went to the wrong convention.
Well, we let Mike give us the directions, so.
We'll see.
That's why he was insistent on taking his little Japanese cars. He thought they'd pick up chicks. The problem is all the chicks tried to get on the wrong side of the car.
What?
Exactly. So
anyway,
leave my string cheese alone.
We're aware. Anyway.
Well, it's gonna be the best inside joke for years. So we mentioned it last week and probably the week before, but just absolutely in brief, Goals is like a little miniature SHOT Show, but cooler because they let the public in. And they have lots of little advocacy related talks and so on and so forth, and panelists. You guys made it to the panelists. I had to bail out early.
I didn't see any of the panels.
I went and saw the panel that Sean was on, but that was it. And at the end, I just wanted to they had the questions, the Q&A, and this was a cool panel, like Skinny Medic and Sean from We Like Shooting, and
about Fat Medic.
Fat Medic wasn't present.
We need to start a rival company called Fat Medic.
Tundra Tactical was up there. Tactical Considerations was up there. There's a pretty decent panel of known people, and I wanted, they did a Q&A at the end, and the line was only a couple deep, and I wanted to go up there and be like, this question is for Sean. Why are you gay?
And you didn't do it.
No, I didn't do it.
So did you find an imaginary $20 at the end of your imaginary story?
Listen.
Did you win this argument?
Stop chewing into your mic.
Did you win this argument in the shower?
I don't argue with myself in the shower. What do you think I do in there?
That's not a reference.
I don't want to know.
That's not a no, that's not a reference to that. That's a reference to, like, when you're in the shower, it's when you're like, yeah, and I would have told this guy, and then you win all those arguments because it's all the things that you're okay to say in the privacy of your own shower, but not in real life.
I just think to myself how tired I am, and I wish I didn't have to get up so early.
You shower in the morning? That's what's fucking wrong with you. You shower in the afternoon and the evening, sir. You fucking peasant.
No, got to go to
You're
work
getting
clean.
demoted. You're getting demoted.
No, got to go to work clean.
I got to go with the janitor on this one. Night showers are the best. Also, when you're in a house with like 7 other people and everybody thinks showering in the morning is the way, now you're not waiting on somebody to get out of the 2 showers that exist because you showered the night before.
Big brain moment.
I can't sleep in my bed with fresh, clean skin. It's a tism thing. It feels fucking weird, and I fucking hate it. So
Let's not go there.
it's called washing your sheets. Move
hey, Comrade Janitor, what did you see at Goals that you found interesting or just wanted to talk about?
We'll start at the range day because they had a big old industry range day, like all the big gun conventions. I don't want to call it a gun show because the gun show is its own separate thing.
Yeah, it's an event. It's an industry event that was also open to the public for part of it.
So for those that don't know, Gun Owners of America is an advocacy group, much like the NRA, except unlike the NRA, GOA does things. GOA does lots of things. GOA has been involved in all of the Supreme Court decisions that we've gotten in the last several years, including Bruin. While the NRA has done nothing but file amicus curiae briefs, which is basically a friend of the court brief, which means they submit a legal position on behalf of either the plaintiff or the defendant to the case.
We don't need a legal doctorate in 20 seconds that just talks about how shitty the NRA is. Go join GOA. That's all we need to say. You're like my fucking wife. You could say it in 2 words when you're
Why use few words when many words would really paint the picture to an extent that most people would not get without other shows.
So we're at the range day.
That's the exact type of review that a certain Austrian got on his paintings, and look what happened there. Why you use so many brush strokes when you could use 2? And then all that, then he's like, 2? Oh shit, we do need a sequel to that one. Anyway, so I went to the range day. Range days are fine. It's actually the second one I've been to, and it's fine, is the way I would describe it. Yeah, there's cool things to shoot there. I can only shoot one variation of an AR so many times because a lot of companies there end up bringing out products for ARs. There were more damn FRTs there than you could shake a stick at.
Yeah, there were, and they were shaking sticks.
One Horse Armory brought out, I don't know, probably a 10.5-inch barrel on that thing, which was fine, but everybody wanted to shoot it because it was extra thumpy, and being anywhere near them was impossible to carry on a conversation.
Even just like across over under the tent, when that thing would go off, everybody would stop the conversations they were having because you couldn't hear shit from a good 50 yards or more away.
Yeah, but that happens. Range day was fine. I mean, they usually are. Most exciting parts out of it is, I get to go shoot an FAL because I like shooting FALs, even if they don't give you a lot of rounds to shoot. I like touching them. I want one of those someday. We'll get there. They had a Modus, a M2 machine gun sitting on the back of a
semi-auto belt fed, not a machine gun.
A semi-auto machine gun.
Well, I said Modus, and then I automatically went into M2 machine gun. So you're right, it was semi-auto, but which was cool and all. The fact that it was semi-auto really was just like, oh, this sucks. And, Nick Dooley from the AR-15 podcast later on that evening in the Verbo decides to go through the entire I don't think it was the manual. I think it was his instruction set for instructing
it was
on how to operate the M2, because it's like he's doing the hand motions, and pretty soon it's like you're just reciting from memory, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that was all a good time. What do they have it mounted in the back of? A 1998 Tacoma or something like that?
It was a fairly new Tacoma.
Okay.
Yeah. And I walked up to them when it was my turn to shoot. It was the other guy's turn to shoot, and I was talking to the guy about the truck, and he was like, yeah, we had to put it on semi, and we're selling the whole, or we're auctioning off or raffling or whatever the fuck.
They're giving it away if you join I don't remember what the company was called, but it's basically a newer version of Big Daddy Unlimited.
Yeah. And they're giving away the whole rig, including the gun. But they had to limit it to semi-auto, one, so that they could give it away, and two, we were shooting that thing at 500 yards, and the berm wasn't that much bigger than the targets we were shooting at, and just a couple rounds on full auto, and next thing you know, you've got 50 cal slugs traveling several miles across Iowa.
It's Iowa.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit some corn. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it made sense, but it would have made more sense for them to just put up one of those targets that the bullets just goes through, like the TA target or the rubber dummy target type material, and put that at like the 50 or 100 yard range.
I mean, maybe there had to have been a way. This is the way, but there had to have been a way to machine gun. Like, someone's got to bring a technical to one of these things one of these days.
It's gonna be us. So, two things on the FRT side that I saw were cool. Samurai Firearms has their kick-ass Keep It Crazy ambi safety selector, which is a drop-in for any AR lower, high shelf or low shelf, which I thought was pretty fucking neat. Because
And it's not an FRT because it's not a trigger, it's a selector.
True, it is just the selector, which I thought that was neat because so many times it's like, oh, this, the super safe pure FRT, none of my lowers will match that, or blah blah blah. It's like this one's just plug and play, off you go.
Yeah,
I thought that was neat. I shot that one a couple of times and spent some time talking to him.
Yeah, I spent some time talking to the guy, and apparently, pretty much it's just mil spec trigger. Like, don't go with anything aftermarket. Definitely not a cassette style. But I even asked about Geisley, and he's like, yeah, no, just stick with the mil spec.
Yeah, I mean, as somebody who has only one aftermarket AR trigger, I've never thought the mil specs were all that terrible.
They're not.
I'm not a trigger whore either. I mean, fuck, I shoot AK triggers, and I only replaced one of them too. So I'm not much of a trigger snob. So,
I have not ever been much of a trigger snob either. Like, I was trained to, my first handguns I ever shot were Glocks, Glock 17s in the law enforcement academy a million years ago. So, I'm kind of partial to that kind of platform anyway. But everybody says, oh, that trigger's so shitty. That trigger's so shitty. A lot of times the people that complain about the Glock trigger being shitty don't actually know how to shoot the Glock trigger properly. That's one thing I've noticed. I'm not going to launch into another fucking tirade of here's how to shoot the.
You pull it really hard.
Okay, Sam. Sam hates Glock trigger.
No, you just pull it really hard. Boom. Problem solved. Aim high.
But
aim high.
People
right.
bitch about the 6-pound mil spec trigger too, and they're, oh, it sucks so bad. Like, no, it really doesn't. Like,
No.
if you learn to run the gun, you learn to reset it every time, and your finger just learns the natural pressure, and you can run a gun just fine.
Yeah, it's better to be good with one thing than to have a bunch of different things and have to go, oh yeah, that's right, I'm shooting this gun now. Honestly, if you're talking about pure training, I asked the question, one, I do have a Geisley in one of my guns, but also because people are going to want to know, because people are going to have other triggers, or they're going to put other triggers in their guns. So it's nice to be able to go, hey, here's this product. We're talking about this product. By the way, this is something you should know about this product before you spend $250 or whatever it is on this product that you then won't be able to use, or it will destroy the reliability of your gun because you're not using it with a mil spec trigger.
Oh.
I was thinking from the reviewer standpoint.
Big brain.
Nah, I wouldn't say big. I would just say I've done this a couple of times.
Slightly larger than average brain. And then the other thing I was going to touch on triggers was the Triggered company.
Oh, yeah.
Company.
I need that M16A2 in my life.
They had they had an M16A2, which, if you've never shot a rifle gas system rifle length buffer, AR-15, it is the smoothest AR-15 known to man. It's what Stoner intended.
They had a few other guns on that table, and
meh.
I looked at that table, and the rest of the guns did not interest me at all because they put an A2 on the table, and that's the only thing I actually wanted to shoot.
Agreed. So they've got a trigger in their the LAT, which they named after birth name Laurie Allen Torney. After he immigrated to the United States, he changed it to Larry, or anglicized it to Larry Allen Thorne. Who, this is pertinent to something we talked about a few episodes ago. Was an officer in the Finnish army during the Winter and Continuation Wars, who then, after the Moscow Armistice in 1944, was demobilized and therefore unemployed now. Was picked up by pro-German resistance in Finland and then left to go train with the Waffen-SS so that he could keep fighting communists, because he did not like communists or the Soviets. And then post-World War II ends up kind of drifting again, immigrates to the United States, winds up in the Green Berets, and then was killed in a helicopter crash in Laos. So the dude had quite the career on him. Also quite the set of cojones on him. But so that was cool. They named it after him. I also think it's funny because their third position is called the ARSE, Assisted Reset Semi-Enhanced. So like ARSE. So if you're British, that's how you say ass, because you're a pretentious little fuck. But
I don't understand ARSE.
ARSE.
Arr.
Because they're all pirates still. But that was a nice shooting FRT too.
Yeah, that was.
I liked a lot of the FRTs. It turns out I forgot how to shoot full auto. I think that I forgot that a long time ago, or maybe I just thought shooting a Tommy gun made it easy. But
maybe you should practice full auto more, Mike.
Maybe.
Yeah, get on that.
Maybe. Yeah, right.
I'll get right on that.
That was sarcasm, because we should all be practicing full auto more, because we just should all have it.
Agreed. Let's get there.
And then I wanted to swing back around. The other thing I wanted to touch on range day, and I don't want to eat up too much time, but a lot of it came with sitting on it after range day 2 with the Stenzel SAC 21, and Rimfire Radio up on top of the comments was like, it was nice.
I liked the Stenzels, and the Stenzels make Sam so mad.
They don't make me so mad. I still don't jive with any of the mentality behind it. So I sat and talked with them for a while, and after they talked to me, it's like, oh yeah, or it's taken the design of the AK-47 more than the AKM, because it is a milled receiver. Okay, I can make that leap with you, and just updating it with modern materials and manufacturing is like, okay, but you still have created a heavier gun than anything AKM pattern. And a big fucking tall gun too, hard to wrap your hand around. But
yeah, I'll give you that.
Controls on it still just boggle my mind. Yeah. The crossbolt safety, which they said that they led with the whole "it's so easy to clean" thing, which I don't get that one. That is like selling it to guys who've never taken an AK apart, I guess, because I'm sorry, it doesn't take any it doesn't take any ability to push the freaking recoil spring and pop the dust cover off. Like, I don't get that part.
Rimfire Radio in the chat says he liked it. The safety wasn't annoying as he thought it would be. I'll touch on it real quick. Of everything else, I could forgive everything else about the gun except for the two things: the safety, because fuck that, and what Klecker said. They nice. Just, I don't know about 4K nice. Those are the two things I can't forgive.
At 2K, it could be sold. Their explanation for the crossbolt safety is that one of the designers was an Army Ranger, and so I guess in his time he saw guys having issues with safeties catching on gear and AR or M16s or M4s, whatever, coming off of safe. I've never personally had that happen. I don't personally know anybody, including guys who are currently active duty infantry right now, who have ever had that issue. And furthermore, if you're left-handed, the crossbolt safety is now completely the opposite fucking problem because now
Mhm.
you're going to bump it constantly
That
against.
he did make it a point to say that the safety was reversible.
Oh, okay. Well, there you got that going for you.
I was going to make that argument, but then I remembered that counter argument.
Yeah, but
And
then
The bigger, and then again too, I watched multiple people. So in the position, they've made all the controls oversized, which is okay, fine. But in the position where a magazine release is on an AR-15 is a giant, very sensitive bolt release. And I watched, including myself, multiple people walk up to pick up that gun and drop the bolt because their finger naturally found it. And it was it being granted, it was underneath my finger. I'd have to move my finger to a spot I'm not used to. They just dropped the bolt on it, and
it's because we're all trained.
a weird spot for a
Oh,
bolt release.
what's one of the life safety rules of firearms handling? Keep your finger up and away from the trigger until you are ready to fire. So where does your finger go? Above the trigger guard. Oh, that's where that button is.
the mag release button is a very natural place for your finger to rest on an AR, which is great because when
On
you
any
take your
gun.
finger off the trigger and you need to do a reload, it goes right back to its natural position, and there's a button there.
On a pistol, even this is a drill, not a pistol. My
I see
finger
that.
gets up high, my finger
Oh.
goes straight out and a bit higher because you can kind of index the tip of your finger on
Mhm.
the ejection port.
I do that with Windex bottles, bro.
Yeah, but
It's just habit at this point.
anywhere in that zone, though, that big oversized bolt release is, which is just okay. That could be a trading issue. You can work your way around it. Again, to me, there's a lot of obsession right now with everything being ambidextrous to the point that I think it starts to become a little bit detrimental, where you have too many ambidextrous controls on the gun, and so now you're accidentally going to fuck something up because you've got buttons all over the damn thing.
Redundant ambidextricity, ambidexterity.
Indeed. The bolt, so it is short stroke piston, which is still pretty VC58 if you ask me. But him and I went back and forth on that a little bit. It does use an AK bolt. It uses the ass end of an AK trunnion, but not the front end of an AK trunnion because the barrel is essentially indexed off of the two screws going through the trunnion. So I'm messing up. So I should have taken better notes when talking to him. I talked to him for 20-30 minutes and I walked away from it going like, okay, maybe I need to sit on it for a bit and think about it. Maybe my mind's being changed, but then sitting on it throughout the rest of the evening, it's just like, it's just still, it's like a good idea fairy type thing. It's dropped in. Go ahead.
It does shoot nice. I will give it that. It shoots nice in terms of the feel of the recoil, the trigger, like all the parts fit together nicely. Like it's clearly a well-made gun. I don't know that it's a well-designed gun, and it's definitely not a well-priced gun.
It's definitely well made. I will not say anything bad about build quality. I think the decision with the oversized controls is one thing. Can be worked around with that bolt release there. The safety for me is a bit of a like, are you kidding? Like I'm not like I get it. That's your personal experience. I think the market would be far more receptible to an AR safety on there.
Mm-hmm.
And for $4,000, that's so many more guns. I mean, for $4,000, you can just go ahead and buy an arsenal and still have fucking damn near little under $2,000 to go kit it out with. And now you're buying like about as good of an AK you're going to be able to get your Mets on these days.
All right, now there's a lot of I wish this wasn't like this, and I wish the price wasn't the price that it is. But on the plus side, the rifles, the bolt is extremely smooth. It feels great. All of the controls are giant and ergonomic. It shoots really, really well. It feels good in the hand. It's
ergonomic.
Think it felt
good in the hand.
You didn't think it felt good?
It's too fat. It's too tall.
It is heavy for that short barrel.
Holding it in my left hand. Again, it's like I was joking earlier when you put a rail on your AR. It's like, well, as soon as you have lasers, your whole fucking world changes. Holding it, all I can think of is to hit a tape switch for a laser on top It's a lot of gun to grab onto.
Yeah.
To activate a tape switch on the top of the gun. Or
And
especially
that's
not even just a tape switch, especially if it's something like a PEC where you're running, or any of the like the Holosun Iris. If you want to skip ahead with a tape switch and just hit the button on the top of the module, now you've got even more. You've got a freaking gorilla claw around.
so I will give you that. The maybe why the chunk of it didn't really bother me is because I like my SIG 556, and it's very similarly chunky, probably similar weight too. And yeah, AK is way less because they're much simpler and they're made out of.
This one didn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
no. These, that's what I'm saying. These were more on par with the weight of a 556, and by that I mean the SIG model 556, not a 556 rifle. So, but you're right. The complaints I have with trying to field the 556, it's too fat to see clamp up top. The controls, all the rails are in just the wrong places, and it's just not a very. The foregrips aren't very ergonomical. Like quad rail, I don't like quad rails all that much, but a quad rail on a 556 would be pretty dope. But yeah, I can understand your point about the trunk. But aside from shooting really well and feeling like everything was smooth and was well machined and engineered, it looked like, I still, yeah, the $4,000 price tag is
Yeah.
And I can say, and this is just personal experience. Sorry, Mike, finish. Listen, or your voice came in after I started talking.
Oh, I think I was done. It's fine.
Okay. The only other thing I was going to add is that having shot a boatload of 7.62 by 39, I didn't think the ring recoil impulse on it was all that improved. Okay, let me put it this way. It wasn't $4,000 improved. Was it an improved recoil impulse? Yep, because you've got that short stroke piston. You've got less mass coming back into your shoulder. And then the stock they had on it is a little more in line with your shoulder compared to, like that OPAP back there. Again, now they probably can't make the thing for $2,000 and come out on top of with a profit. But yeah, I don't know. Price tag wise, I mean, even if we didn't have Colorado gay laws right now, for $4,000, I think Tactus Sloth in the chat was like, that's halfway to a M82A1. It's like, yeah, it is. For $4,000, there's a lot more guns I'd rather own.
So I was going to touch on this later, but since you just brought it up, that's a good segue. I realized, especially on media day, so like not range day, but on the floor in the convention center media day, I'm walking around, and because the day after media day is when Colorado's new gay bullshit went into effect, I was intentionally not interested in anything assault weapon. So ARs, AKs, anything that would be on the list. I was trying to look at all the other stuff. Plus there were like a billion ARs there. And I actually found it kind of difficult in a lot of cases to find stuff that wasn't just AR or AK or something in that family of guns. So I will say that's one thing that I wish I had seen more of, is just different stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's par for the course, though. I mean,
yeah, I just never really I just never really paid much attention to it before.
Yeah, until you're on the other end of it.
Yeah, I mean, I was there for 4.5 years. I just wasn't a content creator at the time, so I didn't think about it like that. My biggest memory or experience from range day, I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff there. Like we said, that M16A2, FRT's out the fucking ass. I hit a target at 500 yards with a suppressed Barrett, which was cool. Got to shoot some cool stuff, but I shot a Bond Arms Cyclops in 50 Action Express, and that hammer actually went deeper into my thumb than I thought it did. I thought it just like cut me. No. It went a good like 1/4 inch into the meat of my knuckle.
Like puncture wound shit at that point.
Yep. It took like 12 hours to stop bleeding.
I didn't shoot those. I meant to shoot. I was waiting in line, and then I'm not going to name names. A certain famous gun tuber came around, and you let him go in front, which was fine. I didn't have a problem with that, but it's like, man, that's going to take forever. So I wandered over to the Rock Island Armory booth and shot their weird ass folding shotgun.
Oh yeah.
I saw other people shooting the Bond Arms 50 AE, so I made sure that I did not shoot the Bond Arms 50 AE.
I was going to shoot the 4570, but then after I shot the 50 AE, and granted, I did hold a little higher on the grip, but I've never shot a Derringer like that before. I shot a side-by-side 410 once that a buddy of mine had years ago, but I've never shot one like that. So I was holding a little higher on the grip than I probably should have. But after I did that and I saw that my hand was bleeding, I was like, I was going to shoot the 4570, but I don't want to bleed on another one of your guns. So I'm done. Just laid the gun on the table and walked away.
That's fair. I would have shot. I mean, granted, the 4570 and the 50 Action Express are fun, but I probably would have wanted to shoot the 45 long Colt, or 45 Colt.
It's long Colt. It's fine. Don't let the FUDs get to you.
No,
don't
let, no. I am the FUD. I am the FUD.
Nope. 45 long Colt. 45 long Colt.
I probably would have shot that one because if I was going to buy one, it would be in 45 Colt.
That's one. We talked about this earlier. That's one of the ones I actually still want.
Because I like Old West guns, and I mean, it's a Derringer, and it's the closest you can really get to a Derringer these days. They're a little chunky, a little kind of, they got a little bit more modern machining to them, so they don't look like an Old West Derringer exactly, but it's awfully damn close. And so I'd want it in a cowboy caliber, even though back then they wouldn't have been in that caliber. Yeah. They would have been in some bitch ass little 32 probably.
My question is, how did that get into your hand so deep? Because that was bad, dude.
Yeah, that's
quite the bite.
So you know how this is a conversation for another time, but basically, if I had held it with an improper grip, much lower on the rubberized, by the way, grip, I would have either not gotten bitten or I would have gotten bitten much less. But because I had my hand higher up on the grip in an attempt to direct the recoil in line throughout my skeletal structure. Now, I wasn't trying to keep it from rising at all. I did relax a little bit because you're supposed to let those guns rise and then come back down. Also, I'm not taking a follow-up shot, so I'm not trying to keep it on target the whole time. But even still, just letting my hand rise and ride back, it flipped back so quickly and violently, and my hand was so close that
it just got you.
That's one of those things that, hey, it's fine. It wasn't a big deal. I think everybody else, to include a certain individual, we'll call this individual Ma, was far more concerned about it than I was. But I mean, it definitely didn't feel good.
What also didn't feel great was that the Rock Island Armory Pack Out 12. Somebody was explaining to oh, that's what it was. So it has an assisted, it has basically a spring-loaded pump slide on it. So you got to fight the spring section going backwards, and then it rides forward with you. I believe it was not me. Someone else I was talking to talked to them, because the guy at that booth was kind of preoccupied with the 3-gunner chick shooting next to me. So I get it. But they've spring loaded it so that the pump handle doesn't just work. When you've got the gun folded up into 3 little fucking trapezoidal pieces, it doesn't just flop around. But pumping it was, I can ride a shotgun pretty damn fast, but that one was like, I feel like a fucking amateur, just like boom, chunk, boom. So I didn't like that at all. I mean, folding shotgun is a neat novelty, but I don't. Yeah.
And the Shockwave version of it was fine, but all folded up, it wasn't any different than it was Shockwaved out. And the pump action with the stock was folded so weird that you're like, by the time I get this in my backpack, I won't have room for anything else because it's taking up all the diagonal and sideways room. So I didn't shoot those.
But you did
But-
shoot the square barrel.
Oh, dude, yeah, I shot all 4 of the other pistols. I loved
Rock
all 4 of
Island-
the other pistols.
The Rock Island Armory 5.0E.
The 5.0E and its square barrel. I love the low bore axis on that one. It shoots so well. I don't know. I can't say enough good things about it. It was just amazing. The other 3 pistols they had there, I'm not exactly sure which ones were which, but they all shot pretty well too. I think a couple of them had been shot all day and were a little bit dirty, so they were sticking, but
Yeah.
you know, that's to be expected on a range day, honestly. Like literally manufacturers come out so ill prepared to range days, it's fucking hilarious. Like their guns aren't cleaned or lubed, their optics aren't zeroed, the bolts and shit on all the mountings that they put, like, oh, I would have put a flashlight on, those aren't tight. Like,
to be fair, those guns do. I have heard from multiple people that they use the same guns for every show. So those guns get thrown into a fucking box and then rattled halfway across the country and dragged out the morning before and shot and thrown back in a box. And if you worked for them, you might be inclined, to like, I'm going to make sure the shit's tight. But I can tell you after a while, you'd be like, yeah, fuck it.
Well, if I worked for them and I was doing these shows and I saw they were sticking, I would at least...
That's one thing.
I would at least bring them home after said show and clean them, because it takes 15 minutes to thoroughly clean a handgun from field strip. And if you've got 4 of them, that's an hour. Watch a fucking TV show and whip it out.
Not everybody is a gun guy in this industry, believe it or not. 1, 2, especially when you're ramping up for a show like this, you're getting told, hey, do this. Hey, go grab that thing. Make sure we pack this. Hey, go do that. Because you're not the guy in charge. You're the guy on the ground doing the shit. So your boss is telling you, go do this. Don't worry about that. So yeah, maybe not as much, but that's about all I had to talk about from range day. But I do have things to talk about from the floor.
Same. I don't think anything else stuck out at range day. Again, I didn't look at a lot of handguns because I'm not much of a handgunner, and I had my USP 45 tactical, and that's like, oh cool, I have the only handgun I need for a while. And the move for up to Grizzly Country is not happening quite yet, but I bumped the Glock 20 for that, and like that's it. Handguns are fine. They don't tickle me at all. They don't tickle my tisms. So I'll just shoot the one handgun and be happy with it. Shooting the square barrel thing was like, oh, that's neat. I'm not going to start lusting after one.
I have no interest in that gun. But
you don't
immediately
want your barrel to be a block?
I wouldn't care what shape the barrel is as long as the gun worked and it didn't look like a bag of ass.
Okay, Gaston Glock.
For that price, I should say.
Gaston Glock's widow, if you're out there listening to me. I know you are. Imagine it. A Glock with a square barrel. You can call it the Glock block.
Anyway, immediately after we went to Brownells, to their storefront store, and that was the first time I'd actually ever used their kiosk. And I've only been there twice, but I didn't realize they have a computer. You go on the computer, you find things. If it's not out on their storefront store, if they have it in the back, they'll just pull it for you, and you can buy it right then and there instead of buying it, paying for shipping, waiting for it to come to your house. So I bought, at long last, 9x18 ammunition because they actually had it in stock, unlike everywhere else I've checked. And the only problem is these are defensive rounds. These are Hornady critical defense. I only got 2 boxes of them.
And that's too expensive to use.
Yes,
prisoners.
But the Makarov is officially loaded and ready to continue to live its best life. Hopefully no more corrosion gets added, but
if there's a home invasion and that's the gun that you end up having to use, a lot of things have gone wrong.
I mean, I'm just saying, I like to keep my guns loaded and ready to defend me. So it is currently on the wall, loaded with one in the pipe.
I realize that, and I respect it. I just think it's funny if that's like, oh, damn it, which one's left? That one.
I intentionally didn't wear my tricorn hat because I knew that the headphones were going to be a problem with it. So Bob behind me is wearing mine instead.
Bob.
This is quite the problem. This is not working well.
That's why I didn't do it.
Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Well, we'll get there. Brownells was fun. Big in person store. Lots of guns to look at. None of them that I was like, ooh, must have, except for that Remington Model 3. Just a cool gun from the turn of the century. I think it's a Model 3. I forget now. No, Model 3 is a shotgun.
It was
Model
a Model
8. There we go. Model 8.
Yeah, 30-06 semi-automatic. Like
Not
I was
30-06.
tempted. That one was. That's why.
It's in 32 Remington.
Oh, it was something
If
else.
it was in 30-06,
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
I would've
Vince
had to-
showed me something else in 30-06.
I would have had to drag you out of there. Like I would have had to lasso you.
We did because he was supposed to fucking leave in a different vehicle and he wasn't listening, or sorry, according to him, he heard, he just didn't process. So we had to drag his ass out of there after they left.
No, I didn't hear anybody say that we were leaving. They did it all in the signal chat.
You were walking towards the safe in the middle of the room with all the super expensive guns in it when the call was yelled out into the room to load up.
It is entirely possible I was in the safe.
No, you weren't, because I was looking at your ass.
Why were you looking at my ass?
Because it was retreating.
Because it makes me feel better about mine.
Oh, that was mean.
I wasn't even wearing my good ass jeans.
Anyway,
I was wearing my flappy flat ass jeans, man.
He's wearing his pancake jeans.
Yeah, that's anyway.
It's a body armor panel in the back. That's what it is.
Brownell's store was really, really dope. They had this Midwest Industries foregrip in there, and no, it's a whole
handguard.
Handguard, yeah.
It's a rail.
Handguard, rail, either one, yes.
It's an entire handguard. My bad, not foregrip. There's a foregrip on it. So this is the SIG M400. This was my first AR. I bought this back in 2012-ish. I don't know. Way long time ago. And it came with the MOE grips on it. The MOE grips were like all the rage back in that time period, but there's a problem with them when you try to grab them properly. There's not a whole lot of purchase. Like the advent of the quad rail and the quad rail evolving down into like the entire handguard and just a rail on top or on bottom with, M-lock holes in it and whatnot. I like that because you can get your hand and your finger around them.
Also, yours is now free floated, whereas it was not before.
Correct. It was jammed into the front sight, and that was a pain in the dick to get off, but that's another thing. So I spent a bunch of time last night putting this on. Had to cut the Delta ring off, which I had to confirm twice which one was the Delta ring.
That's not something you admit on a gun podcast, Mike.
We all start and learn somewhere.
You're right. You're right.
I was informed. I was informed at birth. They gave me a pamphlet at the hospital.
I also had to. I didn't do this. I did not take the front sight off to do this. I took my Dremel and I just carefully cut into the foregrip front mount plate and cut it down to the gas tube gently, and got it off that way. So it's fine, comrade. And now it's on, and it looks fucking great.
You at least have earned a master's degree in redneck engineering. I have the authority to grant those.
That was quite gunsmithy. I'm not gonna lie. That was very gunsmithy of me.
No, and it looks good.
Yeah.
I like that you can keep the front sight post. I'm not a fan usually of the whole rail in front of front sight post thing, but that's a perfect fucking place to put a laser.
Yep.
If you do put a laser on that.
Lasers, and also a laser could also go directly in front of the EOTech, which is kind of why EOTech.
No. Especially not with a front sight block.
Lasers go off to, like, if you get the right one, they illuminate off to the side. Not
directly. The mall does.
If you get the right one, and furthermore, if you don't, I need to change laser setup on that AK-101 at some point, because when you set them farther back, you increase the chances of you getting your fucking thumb in the way or some
Also-
other random stupid thing happening.
Okay,
Also,
so for
remember-
sequencing it, yeah, that's a good thing. I'll definitely
Also,
put that in.
remember your whole thing about you turned your light on your gun when you had the can on it, and you were like, "Hey, look, it's the tip of a dick." Now imagine doing that, but with nods, and your laser's all the way the fuck at the back. You're gonna have half of the range illuminated, and the other half is gonna be completely fucking dark. You push that shit all the
Well,
way forward.
The
That's-
laser won't be a problem. The IR light will be a problem.
Yes, but that's what I meant. But same.
Okay.
The
Just checking.
the IR light is usually built into the laser. Usually.
Anyway, before we run too long on just hanging out Brownells, the actual media day at Goals.
That was good. I saw a lot
Let
of
me
cool
talk
shit.
about
Convention
range day
center.
dildo head.
Yeah,
You
but
talked about
we're at 45 minutes.
you talked
Well,
about Rock Island.
That's all I talked about.
All right,
I
make
got
it
to shoot. Okay, so I got to shoot the M22 and that was a lot of fun. That trigger sucks giant dicks. He told me to come back later. I never did. I came real close to hitting the plate, but I think a lot of people did. So that's not really an
He
accomplishment.
told that to everybody.
Yeah. Well, no, I actually did. I could see the dirt
So
just to
did
the
I.
left of
I
it.
was just off the right hand side, but he told that to literally everybody. I think it's to make you feel good.
Well, when you're coming that close to
Anyway.
a target at 500 yards, that's fine. Anyway, I liked the Stenzels, but the prices, yeah. Moving on. There was a company called G80 there, and they're kind of a replacement for Polymer 80, and they sell these buy build kits that they include drill bits and a press, and it's basically a Glock 19 lower, if I remember right. And they're about $225 and come with everything you need to put it together, and all you need is a parts kit and a slide, and you're good to go. We talked to them about how they get past this with the Polymer 80 ruling and whatnot, and he explained that where Polymer 80 got into trouble was they were selling slides and barrels and parts kits all at once, so that people could take an entire parts kit and put a gun together, when instead they could the ATF basically said, if you sell a lower, that's fine, but the entire gun is a no-no. Let's see. I really liked the shotgun suppressor on the Rock Island Armory VR80 they had there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't get to shoot that because some 3-gun chick was hogging it.
Oh, gross. So what I was most impressed by, I think, at range day, I mean, yeah, I got to shoot the 50 cal rifle from Steyr and from Barrett at 500. I think one of them was, I think the Steyr one wasn't sighted because I was dead on at the target and it hit the dirt 50 yards in front. And I'm not the first person I've heard that had that problem. However, I did ring the steel with the Barrett. That was fucking cake. Anyway, both were cool. But Phoenix Armory was my favorite. They came out with a new baffleless suppressor. They have 2 baffleless suppressors, actually. One of them is a 22 can that weighs 2.3 ounces, which is highly intriguing to me. And their price points were fairly good as well. I don't remember them exactly, but so anyway, for the rifle cans, their baffleless suppressor, it fits onto a specially made muzzle brake, and the muzzle brake screws on, just like any other normal muzzle device. You've got to get it timed properly if you want the muzzle brake action. But I shot that muzzle brake on an AK, and stock AK versus this muzzle brake, it was shocking the difference it made. Just a muzzle brake. Now, granted, it's a $250 muzzle brake, but it was nice. Just for a muzzle brake, these things were pretty freaking awesome. And then this muzzle brake is designed to be a quick detach for their suppressors, and so you screw those on real quick, and they suppress real nice as well. There was also a 7mm rem mag out there, and 7mm rem mag is not a light caliber to shoot, but the muzzle brake on that rifle, chef's kiss, fucking phenomenal. Absolutely loved what Phoenix Armory was at, and they had a vast array of stuff to shoot. Oh, they also, I'm pretty sure they had that tiny little AR-15 from Guns, and it was basically like a child-sized version of an AR. That was really neat too. But yeah, that was my range day. I sucked with all the FRTs, so I'm not posting those videos.
Yeah, too bad I am.
Okay, it's fine.
So media day. Do we want to speed run this so we don't go super overtime?
Yeah, we can speed run it. I can jump in first because I only have like 2 things to actually talk about, maybe 3. Could I relay the story about your damn hats?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. So running the rain, going to media day. First thing you bump into is Rifle Speed has a absolutely pristine. Was it a Chevy K10?
Red Dawn truck.
Red Dawn.
Just call it
truck.
the Red Dawn truck.
K10 would be a Blazer, I think.
Either way,
it was just
absolutely.
a Chevy.
We don't need
the 9.
It was a Chevy flare side pickup in 1980.
We don't need to tiz them about the truck.
Absolutely, yes, to the 9s, decked out, perfect recreation of the truck in Red Dawn, down to all the shit in the back of it. That was an awesome thing to walk in and see, with the Red Dawn music playing on a speaker in the background. Then we bumped into High Point Dave. High Point Dave's always a good buddy to see. And then who was there that I'm interested in talking to, and I am going to reach out to them to see if we can get them a guest slot on the show, is a Commando Store. And we've talked about Commando Store a little bit in the past because I have the watch from them. That's the reproduction of the Soviet electronica. They're making some other kind of Soviet watches that I think are going to be neat. They just make a lot of, they sell a bit of surplus on the side. They make a lot of cool shit that is, in terms of like some of the themes of this podcast, is right up that alley. It's not for everybody, but it hits a lot of the notes. And then as we're wandering around, we see a booth that has these, they look like really big boonie hats that have button snaps so you can fold it up into a tricorn hat and either live your pirate dreams or your George Washington LARPs.
Or your Jurassic Park LARPs, as I have thusly demonstrated.
Or those. So we're hanging out, and so Mike's fallen in love with the Tiger Stripe one. Vince from Let's Go Hunt has fallen in love with Rhodesian brushstroke because the man has a sickness. Will wanders on up, and it's like, ooh, I like these. And then these 2 other fellows wander up who they didn't have business cards. I left in mine. I'm really hoping they reach out because the dude makes a really cool Tokarev project, but they like him. But the guy's nowhere to be seen. He's not manning his booth anywhere. So Vince says the soda cans on the Red Dawn truck were the wrong date. That is true. We looked. Anyway, yeah, you guys got obsessed with those damn hats.
I'm still kind of obsessed with this damn hat.
I can tell.
This damn hat's awesome. Like, this could genuinely be an awesome duck hunting hat because I can unsnap it down.
I'm never going duck hunting with you again.
Or I could just, I could fucking Muldoon it.
Good day, mate.
That's not a shotgun. That's a shotgun.
The part that cracked me up is somebody, I don't remember which combination of people, somebody dug up his business card off the table. And were like, oh, do we call him? I was like, give me the fucking card. And I called him and told him, hey, if you hustle back here in 10 minutes, or not in 10 minutes, you hustle back here in a minute, you're going to make 4 or 5 sales. And he hustled back really fast.
And he made 4 or 5 sales.
Yes, he did, which is just ridiculous. To be fair, I would have bought one, but I'd kind of blown my fun budget on something else earlier at Brownells.
Is valid. So what I saw,
your hat?
I got the same thing, but an M81, and Bob's wearing it right now.
Bob.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them.
What else did you want to talk about from Media Day, Sam?
I mean, for me, that kind of rounds it up. I went around, talked to a lot of people, talked to Wolfpack Armory a long time about suppressors. but they're far more interested in breaking into the hunting market than they were into like tactical shooting market, which is totally fine. Again, talked to the commando store guys for a while. I ended up hitting Flux's booth after you did. Same with Hyperfire's stuff. I talked to quite a few people. I did a mistake where I kind of pinballed all over the place where I should have been more methodical. No regrets. I got cards to reach out to a handful of people that I'm happy to reach out to, and yeah, go from there.
Yeah. So
Same.
me and Klecky Boy linked up,
Clucker.
and we started in what I guess is the dungeon version, so like the less refined side of the show, where the booths are clearly less expensive to buy from the convention. We started over there. We literally just went up one aisle, down the other, up one aisle, down the other, and worked our way into the main floor. Um, I saw everybody I wanted to see. I didn't get to talk to everybody I wanted to talk to, but I think that methodical method is really the way to go for this, because
Agreed.
otherwise yeah, you're going to spend more time walking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you're going to hit less stuff. But the things that I saw,
and missing so many things too, that it's like,
yes,
oh, I didn't know they were here. Well, no shit, because
yeah,
I never turned that corner.
I'm not there looking for specific companies. I'm there looking to see what's there, and then I'm going to stop and talk, or I'm going to keep walking. I saw a lot of cool stuff. Infatac, they have a pistol or a micro rifle. It's the same optic, thermal that you can use. It's really cool. They have a thermal that goes on a rifle that will basically Wi-Fi / Bluetooth link to a digital night vision monocular that they sell as well. So you can have a thermal overlay on digital night vision on your helmet, which is cool. Very excited about both of those things. Like you said, I'm speed running this because of time. I did go talk to Flux about a project that I would like to work on. Hopefully more to follow in the future. I went by the Shadow Systems booth, and of all of the people, yes, you all know I am a Shadow Systems fucking shill, so we can get this out of the way. I didn't fangirl over a single fucking thing or person until I got to the Shadow Systems booth.
And you're
I
like,
fangirled.
hey guys, I've got more Shadow Systems guns on me right now.
I literally showed them, and I had to do it 3 times. I started talking to a guy, and he's like, well, I'm not a marketing guy. I'm a sales guy. I was like, okay. He brings a marketing guy over. And so I did the same spiel. And he's like, oh, well, you should probably talk to our head marketing guy. And then at that, literally serendipitously, the head marketing guy walks up and he's like, hey, you should talk to this guy. And so I did the same spiel 3 times. I was like, look, I'm not fangirling over shit, but I cannot explain to you how much I love Shadow Systems, to the point where, and I carry 2 Shadow Systems pistols with me at the same time every single fucking day. This is not for the show. This was not to get you guys to like me or whatever. This is just what I carry on a daily basis. And you two both know it because you've seen me carry both of them every fucking day. So it's not a fucking gimmick. So I did that. I played with their new Axio, which is basically their competition. I didn't believe it because I saw the videos from SHOT Show where they introduced it's like a metal frame Shadow Systems Glock clone, but it's absolutely not a Glock clone because everything inside that gun is different. And I can tell you from dry firing it because it has a 2011 feeling trigger and a striker fired gun.
Ooh.
It is. That's better than most like 1911 triggers that I've played with.
He had to change his pants after this experience.
I absolutely had to change my pants after that, but I did let it sit and funk a little bit for a while, walk around in it, just to relive the experience. I did an interview with Kiru. It's Kiro, Cairo, but the guy that owns it is Israeli and he pronounces it Kiru. I did an interview with him, got a chassis from them. This is basically the Yamaka version of the Flux, but I love that it takes a Glock pistol, which means it takes Glock's mags, aka God's mags, and not 320 mags, aka shoot your dick off mags. Hey. So I'm going to be doing some testing on that and comparing it to the Raider at some point. I already talked about Flux. I got, this is fun. So I've talked a lot about the P90 on the show. I went by Goat Guns, and now my P90 has a little brother that's going to sit in front of it to keep it company. The little Goat Guns P90.
Stargate, but for hobbits.
Yes, exactly. It's Sting. That's its name, Sting. We went by the Duria booth, and again, I said earlier I was looking for more non-tactical, assault weapony type guns. Duria has some pretty cool tactical lever guns, which is all the rage lately. But they're like $1,000 or less, which I think is really cool to be able to get into something like that for that price point compared to everybody else, you know, 225, 3 or more. Found these guys. These are some Byrna 12 gauge less lethal shotgun shell rounds. So it's basically like a beanbag round, except it looks like a little mini nuke when it comes out.
And it's gonna hurt like hell.
Oh, dude, some of the pictures they have, I don't want to get shot by that thing. And yeah, I think I just speed ran everything I wanted to talk about from the show floor. I do have an announcement to make at the end, though, but we'll get there.
I think next time we spent too much time on range day.
Duh.
Anyway,
the coolest things I saw, I did the same thing Sam did, bounced around, pinballed. I did not attach myself to somebody who was going to be methodical like Will and Klecker, and next time I will.
next time you will.
Next time I will. He Mike.
I will.
No, I will.
I am Will. No,
Hear me roar. Rawr. Anyway, talk to Mantis, the makers of the Mantis training system. That they're pretty cool. I like their stuff. They had a booth with a training simulator and whatnot, and that was kind of neat, except it wasn't really calibrated. So I could understand the utility. Oops. However, it wasn't super calibrated, so it was kind of fucky. Speaking of training simulators, I did fangirl over Cool Fire Systems, and I'm debating whether or not to see if they'll want to come on the show, either one of them, and talk about their system. But their system, Cool Fire, makes a gas system, a compressed gas system that you replace your pistol's barrel with, and it even comes with a little doodad that you can put in your magazine so that it doesn't lock your mag on an empty mag. But you put the laser, your little laser, it has its own little laser at the end of it. Actually, I'm mixing it up with a different laser cartridge, but yeah, it has its own laser in it. It blows compressed air through your pistol. The original cylinder, you get about 17, 18 shots, he said. Just like a normal Glock or some other full-size striker fire. They make these systems for multiple different handguns. There's a video game system for it, much like Ace, although Ace better.
But what it really does is it gives you slide reciprocation and recoil.
Correct. And that's what you want. This thing will blow the slide back when you pull the trigger so that as I told him, I explained to him, that I teach, and I explained to him what we teach about, and he was showing me, he asked me if it was kind of a quiz, I could tell, but I also knew what the fuck I was talking about. So he was like, all right, so you can take this little doodad and you can simulate malfunctions with it, and you basically slide it into your magazine, and this thing keeps your magazine's follower from activating the slide lock. So you can also use this thing to insert it in various places in the pistol and simulate each of the 4 malfunctions: a failure to feed, a failure to a double feed, stovepipe, and
failure to extract.
Yeah. So you can use that to simulate all 4 of those. And then he was like, okay, tell me what the steps are for clearing this malfunction. And so I walked him through the steps with that, and I watched him as he cleared the malfunction following my steps. And I was like, man, that's really cool. Like, I can see the utility of that. I really, really, really see, like I told him, I deeply see the utility being given that the guys that I teach stuff to, we don't get to the range a lot, so it's hard to do live fire stuff, but this thing would very much be a leg up on the dry fire training. And as I've said before, I told him too, 95% of handgun and rifle fundamentals can be worked on at home with dry fire, and this takes it up to about 97%. I would say there's still going to be live fire required, but at least now with this thing you can keep track of your front sight as you break the trigger, and then bring it back down and break the trigger again. You can measure your split times with it in the video game doodad that they got. You can use it for the Mantis Training Academy in conjunction with it, putting your phone behind the target and setting it up in the academy if you've ever done that. There's a world of different combinations of training you could do without firing a shot. Ammo isn't as expensive as it used to be, but it still is ammo, and it could very well dry up at the drop of a hat. We're just one more bad shooting away from everybody thinking they're taking our guns again and buying all the ammo on the shelf and never shooting it.
It is a cool tool for sure.
It's a very cool tool. And then I went and fangirled over hyperfire triggers. I talked to the guy at length, and I was like, I do this podcast to talk about my shooting, my competition shooting, and I have a 24C in my competition PCC, and I really, really like it. I love that I can bang out 0.15 splits with it. It's a great trigger, but sometimes I overrun it or don't let it reset, because the reset on the 24C. Now, to be clear, in their catalog, the competition the trigger I'm talking about now is their hyperfire competition reflex. I don't remember exactly. I'd have to look it up, but
anyway,
it's not called the 24C anymore. Regardless, it's got a fairly soft reset, like a mil-spec trigger. Wait, that's why I brought you to talk about this. So this is my M400. So it's got a mil-spec trigger in it. I never changed it out. I actually wanted to keep this rifle mil-spec for a while when I was still in the military, so I could, have consistency through trigger pulls. Anyway, a mil-spec trigger, you pull the trigger. The reset is a very audible thunk. With my PCC, the reset is a very, very soft click. So I sat there and I chatted up the hyperfire guy, and I was like, here's what I'm looking for. Like, I like the thunk. I don't like the very soft click. And he picked up the competition trigger and he's like, is it this one? And I was like, it doesn't say 24C. And he's like, well, this is what the 24C became. And I was like, oh, okay. So I tried it and I was like, yeah, that's it. Very, very soft click. And he's like, okay, try a couple of these other ones. And we finally settled on one. I'm not entirely sure which one it is, but I have an idea. Had a very, very nice reset. So we talked about that one. It's currently out of stock, and I'm hoping that when it comes in stock, it'll be the right time in my purchasing power to pick one of those up and try it too. I would also really much like to have them on the show if they're willing, because they also have an AK trigger, and Sam and I both tried it, and I made a face when I tried it, and that face was indescribable. The feeling was indescribable.
Well, the feeling was I was going to shoot myself. It's too light. It's not too light, but it's just like, that's a dangerous trigger.
Is there
to somebody?
Anything besides hyperfire, Mike?
I went and talked to Shadow Systems too. I very much liked their pistols.
I've already emailed everybody that I had divvied up to email, so I'm waiting on responses. We'll go from there.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Shadow Systems was really cool. I didn't fangirl as hard as you, but I do love the pistol, and I love that it's Glock adjacent, but it's like Glock but better.
It's what
'Cause
Glock should be.
Glock is fine, comrade, but Shadow Systems is
Well,
it's kind of it's what everybody turns their Glocks into after they change their Glock perfection.
It's what Glock should be.
well, there ain't no 10 mil shadow systems, so oopsie poopsie.
10 mil high point's
yeah.
better anyway.
Indeed. Well, my 10 mil high point did not jam, or my Glock 10 mil did. So take that, Gaston. Roll over in your grave, bitch.
So do we have any reviews or any other admin? I have one admin piece, but do we have anything else, Samwise?
I have admin piece coming in because these stickers showed up 4 hours after I left home. But our new AKR stickers are finally in. The one that matches to go with the patch that has this Cyrillic agency name, but at the bottom, Agency for Control of Nuclear Resources, which is what AK, and technically it's not an R in Cyrillic, but y'all get over it. That's a fine looking sticker, in my opinion. And that'll be going out here with every patch that gets sent out with a shooting challenge, which I have been changing my background to finally get that video done. So we're getting very, very close, finally. Although you can complete the shooting challenge at any time. Be a battle rifle man among PCC men. I was sad I wasn't able to hand one of these to PTR or to DSA because I get a kick out of that one. Generic old AK-47 radio tower, AK patch, or not patch, sticker, and then I dropped the last one. Oh, shite. We got to name this chick, but just your good old-fashioned propaganda poster, AK-47 radio. There she is.
Call her Paulina the Propagandist.
Paulina the Propagandist. That'll do. Those came in. If you leave us a review on whatever your favorite podcast app is, and then either email us at ak47radioshow@gmail.com or join our Discord. Links to which can be found at ak47radio.net. Let us know you left a review. I'll get your address from you, and I will send you a sticker pack.
Nice.
A free way to get stickers, and you can stick them to yourself.
And now we have a very special announcement. So on Tuesday, August the 18th, as in 2 podcasts from tonight, we will be having a very special guest host or a guest on the show. His name's William Kirk. He is the owner and operator of Washington Gun Law. He is a lawyer. He has a YouTube channel with a significant following, and he is very much interested in specifically fighting or pushing back and educating about gun law, and specifically shitty gun laws across the country. I ran into him randomly at Goals. He actually walked up to me, and we started talking. I didn't know who he was, but yeah, he's a lawyer. He has a YouTube channel, and he is interested in discussing Colorado's new, it's not an assault weapons ban, it's a semi-automatic firearm restriction scheme with what essentially amounts to a firearms owner ID card rather than a full-on ban. And so because we're based in Colorado,
GetLab watches him every morning.
Nice.
Based.
He's a really, really good dude. He seems down to earth. Very nice guy. I'm really excited to have him on. So you guys have 2 weeks. If you have questions for the live audience specifically that you would like to ask him, please submit those to our email address via ak47radio.net. We will compile a list of questions, and if we have time to get to those, then we can get to those as well. But just so you're aware, that's an episode you're going to want to watch live. Again,
and if you ask, why are you gay, is one of the questions. Actually, I shouldn't say we won't read it out, but it's
this is
at the very bottom of the pile.
This is why they should be sent to the email address. Live questions may or may not be addressed, but email questions, if they are worthy, will get top priority. I am making an executive decision as the commissar.
Okay, don't shoot me.
I mean, I have the ammo now.
That fucking Makarov's loaded. I'm afraid now.
So, but yeah, Go subscribe to him on YouTube. Again, Washington Gun Law. He's doing the Lord's work, and he's got the degree to do it, unlike us degenerates. And if you wanted to watch any of our episodes live, Tuesday, August 18th, that's the one to watch.
And you'll have warning too, because this will publish next week, which means you'll have a whole week to hear this and show up live.
That's all I got.
All right.
Very excited.
That'll do, pigs. That'll do indeed. Oink, oink.
I wish I was an M60.
I wish I was a hoofed animal that people love to eat, because then at least somebody would love me. Go out, do the things. Leave us a review, and you will get stickers for your face, stickers for your children's face. Don't stick them to your children's face. The cops might show up for that one. That would be considered an obscenity. Leave us a review. Visit us at AK47radio.net. Find links to the Discord where you can come and chat and see us as we in real time make fools of ourselves. Also, watch live and watch us make fools of ourselves in real time too, just like I am now. Get out there, serve the party with pride. Take your arms and gear out into the field and train. Get some medical training so you don't die, because a prepared Wolverine's a live Wolverine, and a live Wolverine is a giant sack of shit. That's all I got.
That's about right.
That's about right. Because if you're a dead Wolverine, you don't get to ride in the back of the truck to boss-ass music.
You can't scream Wolverine because you'll be like, oh.
Well, that kid did get blown up later because he was yes, let me go climb on top of the T-72 that's getting shot at. It's fine.
Yeah, that was not wise.
Mm-hmm. Good night.
До свидания, comrades.